Imagine a place where lush rainforests echo with the calls of exotic birds, where rugged mountains stand guard over pristine rivers, and where ancient cultures thrive amidst untouched wilderness. Now, consider this. Nestled between the continents of South and Central America lies the enigmatic Darien Gap. But what makes this paradise one of the most mysterious places on Earth? Let's embark on a journey to uncover the secrets of the Darien Gap, exploring its rich biodiversity, confronting the challenges of its rugged terrain, and delving into the complexities of its cultural and environmental significance. The Darien Gap, situated between Panama in Central America and Colombia in South America, is a sparsely populated and undeveloped region. Covering roughly 10,000 square kilometers, its toughest and most impenetrable section spans about 160 kilometers, where the Pan-American Highway is interrupted. The region's natural features are protected within national parks, showcasing its rich biodiversity, including rare species like the jaguar and harpy eagle. Despite facing threats from deforestation and climate change, the area remains largely inaccessible due to its challenging terrain and lack of infrastructure. The Darien Gap has posed a significant challenge to exploration and travel. Its dense jungles, treacherous swamps, and rugged mountains made it a formidable barrier for early adventurers. Historical expeditions through the Gap were often met with disaster. Explorers faced sickness due to tropical diseases like malaria and yellow fever, encountered hostile encounters with indigenous groups who fiercely protected their territories, and grappled with logistical challenges in navigating the inhospitable terrain. In the 20th century, as transportation infrastructure advanced and the dream of connecting the North and South American continents via the Pan-American Highway took shape, there were proposals and attempts to build a road through the Darien Gap. The completion of the highway would have represented a significant milestone in global connectivity. However, these efforts were fraught with challenges. Environmental concerns, including the impact on the region's rich biodiversity and delicate ecosystems, and political complexities, such as border disputes and sovereignty issues between Colombia and Panama, further complicated the project. The Darien Gap is a beacon of biodiversity, with lush rainforests and diverse habitats that provide refuge for an extraordinary array of plant and animal species. Within its boundaries, countless species thrive, many of which are found nowhere else on the planet. The dense vegetation acts as a natural sponge, absorbing rainfall and reducing the risk of flooding during the wet season. As water infiltrates the soil, it replenishes groundwater reserves and feeds into the intricate network of rivers and streams that crisscross the landscape. During the dry season, the stored moisture is gradually released, maintaining river flows and sustaining ecosystems. The presence of various armed groups, including guerrilla factions from Colombia, adds another layer of complexity to the challenges faced in the Darien Gap. These groups, often involved in illegal activities such as drug trafficking and smuggling, operate within the remote and rugged terrain of the region, taking advantage of its isolation and difficult accessibility. Their activities not only exacerbate security concerns for travelers but also contribute to the instability and insecurity of the area. Visitors venturing into the Darien Gap must remain vigilant and cautious, as encounters with armed groups can pose a significant threat to their safety and well-being. Additionally, the presence of armed actors further complicates efforts to address other challenges, such as environmental conservation and sustainable development in the region. The region's rugged terrain, dense vegetation, and lack of infrastructure make it difficult for outside assistance to reach those in need promptly. In emergencies such as accidents or medical crises, travelers may find themselves stranded without access to medical care or assistance. This isolation creates a sense of vulnerability for visitors, who must rely on their resources and preparedness to navigate the challenges of the Darien Gap safely. As such, thorough planning, communication devices, and emergency provisions are essential for anyone venturing into this remote and unforgiving wilderness. The debate over whether to construct infrastructure through the Darien Gap represents a fundamental tension. They argue that the construction of roads would disrupt fragile ecosystems, fragment habitats, and exacerbate deforestation and habitat loss. Furthermore, they warn that increased accessibility could lead to further encroachment on indigenous lands, the exploitation of natural resources, and the spread of unsustainable development practices. Thus, the debate over the future of the Darien Gap reflects broader tensions between development imperatives and the imperative to preserve the natural and cultural heritage of one of the last remaining wilderness areas on Earth. The allure of the Darien Gap's untamed wilderness continues to draw adventurers and explorers from around the globe, eager to test their mettle against its formidable challenges. Despite the inherent dangers posed by its dense jungles, rugged terrain, and unpredictable weather, intrepid individuals embark on expeditions into the Gap in search of adventure and discovery. Travelers must enlist the expertise of local guides who possess intimate knowledge of the region's topography, wildlife, and indigenous cultures. Additionally, they must equip themselves with essential survival skills and gear, including navigation tools, emergency supplies, and protective clothing. Navigating through the Darien Gap requires a high tolerance for discomfort and adversity, as trekkers contend with sweltering heat, torrential rains, venomous wildlife, and the constant threat of getting lost in the labyrinthine jungle. Despite these challenges, the allure of exploring one of the last remaining frontiers on Earth continues to inspire adventurers to venture into the heart of the Darien Gap. Compared to other regions where roads and highways offer convenient passage, the Gap remains an impenetrable barrier for vehicular travel. Visitors seeking to journey between South America and Central America typically opt for alternative routes, such as air or sea transportation. Air travel provides a swift and relatively comfortable option for crossing the Gap, with flights connecting major cities on either side of the isthmus. Similarly, maritime routes offer a scenic and leisurely way to traverse the Gap, with ferry services and cruise ships ferrying passengers across the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. Until a safe and sustainable overland route can be established, the Darien Gap will remain a compelling yet elusive destination for those seeking to explore the road less traveled. As we conclude our exploration of this captivating and unforgiving wilderness, may its mysteries linger in your thoughts, reminding us of the enduring power of nature and the resilience of those who call it home. Until we meet again, may your adventures be as boundless as the horizon, and may the spirit of exploration guide your path. Thank you for watching.